Hey you, yeah you. You want to hear one of the things that ticks me off the most about the comic book community? One of my biggest pet peeves? How about I start off by showing you something first? Brother Voodoo, Carnage, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Spider-Man 2099. Do you know what all those characters I just showed have in common? They're all characters I don't read and I have very little knowledge on. So when I have conversations and those characters come up, whether it be for a death battle or a versus match or a gauntlet or win-loss record or anything along that lines, I tell people that I don't read those characters. I don't know enough about them. So I can't give an educated opinion on what would happen. Even if it's a character like Carnage, who I have a lot of knowledge on, but I got from creators rather than the source material, I still tell people, I don't read them. I probably shouldn't be talking about them. So what does this have to do about one of my biggest pet peeves in the comic book community? I'll tell you. See, when I did this Batman Runs the Marvel hand-to-hand gauntlet, I knew that when posting it, that was going to cause a bit of a stir in my comments. There were going to be differences of opinions, which is perfectly fine. What I didn't expect is that most of the comments had to do with a character that wasn't even on the gauntlet. Don't worry, we're getting to what pisses me off, okay? Hang tight. I said in an offhand comment to get Daredevil above Nightwing first before we talk about Batman versus Daredevil. First and foremost, I want to let people know I like Daredevil a lot. Cool concept, great character, great stories, and sexy ass design. One of the best design and looking characters in all of Marvel. But it is in my opinion that Nightwing beats him. It's a close ass fight. Like, frankly, in my opinion, it's a 6-5 in favor of Nightwing. And listen, if you think Daredevil beats Nightwing, that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. Even some of my closest mutuals that I have on this app, I have difference of opinions on. But you know what's not fine? Is making wild statements about characters that it's pretty clear that you don't read. Now, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to call anyone out. There's a couple of people that made comments. But from the comments that are being said, that Daredevil has better feats, or he's faster, or stronger, or faces tougher people, yada, yada, yada. That right there shows me that you may read Daredevil, but you don't read Nightwing. And again, if you think Daredevil wins, that's fine. But at least say that you don't read Nightwing. Because it's clear you don't know what you're talking about. One of the comments was Nightwing doesn't fight anyone on Wolverine's level. But if you read Nightwing, we know that's completely false. Nightwing regularly takes on super soldiers like Deathstroke and puts hands on them. Nightwing's main villain is Blockbuster, who is a building level threat. This guy tears down buildings, and Nightwing has survived being curb stomped by him. Nightwing has taken on people like Magog, who is an individual that is a Superman level problem. Let's not forget going toe-to-toe with Midnighter, who he in himself is an augmented super soldier. What about when him and some other characters gone up against a version of Doomsday? Let's not forget about him going up against the Legion of Doom, fighting people like Cheetah, who's a Wonder Woman villain. Oh, remember that time he fought Batman when Batman had Superman's powers? Yes, he was drained of those powers a bit, but he was still an enhanced superhuman version of Batman. Or how about that time Batman and him took on Amazo? It was Amazo with only a couple of the Justice League powers, but a couple of the Justice League powers is more than Wolverine. Hell, his regular opponents on the Titans are the Fearsome Five. And don't forget about Trigon and all his minions. Nightwing's in the thick of it with the rest of the Titans. The point I'm trying to make is that if you think Daredevil beats Nightwing, that's perfectly fine. But to make wild claims and statements that one character has better feats over the other one when you haven't read the character and it's blatantly obvious that you haven't read the character is, what's the word? Disingenuous. Let me give you an example. I love Dr. Fate. He's one of my favorite magic users in DC, bar none. Now, I read enough of Doctor Strange to know what he's capable of. I'm not reading him currently, so if I was in a conversation, I would bring that up. But I've read enough of him that I know that him and Dr. Fate are extremely relevant to each other. Now, imagine if I said in a comment or on a video, Dr. Fate is better than Doctor Strange. Better feats, better spells, better scaling. He has taken on opponents Dr. Fate has never taken on. That's a wild statement because we know what Doctor Strange is capable of. If you read him, you know that I would be bullshitting you. Now, take, for example, the video I did. Yes, I said Batman would clear the hand-to-hand gauntlet. And I also said, in terms of skill, fighting ability, and overall knowledge and feats, Batman in that category is better than everyone else here. But notice how I didn't trash the other characters or say wild statements, right? I said that Steve Rogers and T'Challa are among the best fighters in the universe. I said that if this was standard gear, Black Panther would be able to beat Batman in a random encounter. That's because I recognize, because I read the characters, how good Captain America and Black Panther is, how dangerous they are, and there are scenarios where they do beat Batman. However, in this scenario here, where it's just hand-to-hand combat, I gave my opinion on why I think Batman wins. But I did not in any way, shape, or form make wild claims that would indicate that I don't read the characters. Because I do read the characters. I'm actually currently reading Black Panther. I'm trying to bone up on the character a bit more because I really like him. He reminds me a lot of Batman. So let's get to the thing that kind of ticks me off. Shall we? You probably think I'm going to say, while you don't read comics and why are you talking about characters, you don't read. No, don't worry. I'm not going to be the broken record of comic talk, where every creator's first attack point is, you don't read comics, or here's my long boxes, or let me show you off the issues I have. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what does bother me? My pet peeve is that the majority of people out there get their opinions on other characters from other comic talk creators. You listen to your favorite creators, you hear what they have to say, and because it slightly aligns with what you like, or because you like that creator so much, you take what they say at face value. You believe that they're 100% correct, and you graft their opinion onto yourself. There's nothing wrong with learning and gaining information from comic talk creators. I have people do it for me. But one of the things I always do is I give you guys the resource and the information. When I show you a video, like a feed video, I show you the issues in which you can look at. The reason is because I want you to formulate your own opinion. I want you to fact check me. I want you to know that I did the research, I've read the comics, but more importantly, that you can do the research and that you can read the comics. There's several amazing content creators on here, and I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but if they're saying something and you're going to bring that into a debate, if you're going to bring that into a conversation, if you're going to have your chest out and ready to stand at the top of the mountain and reiterate their opinion, you better make sure that their opinion is correct, that they giving you the right information. You better know what you should know. Because the one thing that's worse than not reading the comics is for you to blindly follow someone else, take their opinion that you don't fact check, and then use it as your own. If you don't agree with my opinion, if you think one character beats the other, that's perfectly fine. But make sure you know that the stuff that you're saying is true and not just the opinion of someone that wants to create a narrative on this app. Whew! That was a long video.